are living in an artificially induced state of consciousness that resembles sleep. The movement was begun by a scientist who discovered, quite by accident, these signals being sent. We have been lulled into a trance. Please understand, they are safe as long as they are not discovered.
They want their weapons.
Look out for Charlie.
I want that son of a bitch dead. I want him dead.
These are the types of cases that make my blood boil. This was a case a few years ago on Reddit, a few years ago, where a woman started to record. She was hearing clicks and strange things in her room, and she started to record with a sleep recording app to catch you talking in your sleep or snoring or whatever. And she caught something where she believed she was asking somebody, "What are you doing?" And the male answers. And out came the simpletons with their explanations, which they said someone broke into her house and she was having a conversation with them and went back to sleep. And blah, 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 all the simpleton answers you could think of, and even the experts got involved. And I'm going to tell you right now, and this is from the bottom of my heart, you experts out there are fucking hack jobs. You are either total and complete hack jobs at what you do, or you're complicit in this shit. Because the speech experts got involved. Fucking clown world bullshit. You guys are like the psychic paranormal experts that they bring on fucking Ghost Adventures. So let's check this out. And I'm going to show you everything that they missed and all the spots where they could have realized that there wasn't a human talking at all through the whole recording. So let's start by me not pausing through this at all, and let's listen to the whole thing one time.
What are you doing? Okay.
Now, for all you hack jobs out there, you audio fucking hack jobs that got in on this, I'm going to show you what you missed and everything you missed. Here, this section right here, she talks about clicks that she was hearing, which is very similar to the Fry effect. Let's listen to it. Now, to the average ear, that could sound like just some rustling around. It's not. Directly after that is the hum of a low frequency. Then, after that, comes the quote-unquote female voice.
What are you doing? Okay.
Now, one thing that you have to remember, and I've been meaning to say this for a while, and I keep forgetting, is it's an excellent thing to train your ears with noisy music. Can you pick up the cymbals in noisy music? Just the cymbals. The bass line. Can you listen to, let's say, Queens of the Stone Age, rated R, without looking at the tracks and the information on the tracks, and find the alto or baritone sax that is hidden throughout the album? Can you find that and can you hear it? Because not a lot of people can. Once you can do that, then you can really start to pick things out of audio. You have to train your ears to follow something through other noises and not mix those noises up with what you're hearing. Follow the frequency. So, after the female-y type voice, we have more noise here that comes up, a couple dB, a low tone, and now a series of well-timed clicks.
Okay.
Then a noise before
Okay.
the quote-unquote male voice. Alright? All this is significant. Not just the female-y voice, the male voice, and then the male voice again. And this is where these experts have no idea what they're doing. Get the fuck out of here with your bullshit. You are terrible at your fucking jobs. Terrible at your jobs. Quit. Quit. The first section I'm going to go over is the very beginning. The clicks, the rustling. So let's check that out by itself. Here is stage 1 of that clip. It's not what it sounds like. Those are heterodyned ELF frequencies that are throwing off noises. It sounds a little bit different. That's stage, call it stage 2. Alright, now stage 3. Totally different, and now there's a female voice within that rustling. Let's loop it. Alright, now let's listen to just that female-y voice by itself. That was an ELF frequency that was pitched a little bit to reveal the female voice. Now, if I took this same clip and pitched it down, they are created in such a way that this could easily sound like a male voice. So this is not just some rustling around. These are voices, and it's not the female talking in the background of rustling, because these were ELF frequencies being tweaked out. So there's nowhere you can go with that, naysayers. Nowhere. Here's the kicker. Because I am telling you, these are pulsed frequencies that are intended to say something to somebody. Here are the original clicks that were after the woman allegedly says, "What are you doing?" Okay, those are the original clicks. What are these clicks? These are syllables. Pulsed. They're already, there's the ELF, and then there's a pulsing of the ELF that enters the human ear, the sinuses, everything. It's like having bone conduction headphones on while you're sleeping. And hey, you might not believe me, but we're going to check it out and you're going to see. What's under the initial pulsing? We get rid of that pulsing, the pop, 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 and let's see what's underneath it. I'm going to show you, and it's going to blow your mind. Right there is a robotic voice that says, "Commit suicide." I'm going to loop suicide right there. If you can't hear that, there's something wrong with you. I'm going to play the whole thing here again. Do you hear suicide in that? That's inside those clicks. That woman, bless her heart, is at least being targeted in her sleep, and so is her son. And like I say in all my videos, every fucking one, the only thing that comes out in this stuff is negativity. I'm going to show you way deep into the audio of these clicks. What's underneath suicide sounds like communication. Now let's listen to that again. Now why don't you catch that, experts? You guys have no idea what the fuck you're doing at all. Now here's a different version of that clip. I want to show you just this part. So, not clicks. Let's check out the female voice. She says, "What are you doing?" Allegedly. What are you doing? Now, if these speech and audio experts had looked at this, a human voice, when they speak in a recording in spectral view, will look like a series of lines, like tones or a chord from a piano. Because your vocal cords are, X amount of notes, and it will make a series of lines in the recording. What you are seeing in this is a burst of noise with one tone. These weird frequencies around it just popping up here and there. And then a series of tones that should almost look like vocal pattern here until you go up and realize that this voice goes well into 20,000 hertz. No, it goes up to 15. I cut it. But it went into 20,000 hertz at one spot. And allegedly says, "What are you doing?" This is not a human voice in the room talking. And now we're going to get into it. If you isolate the female-ish note and play it by itself, it almost sounds like it's saying, "Where is Jeremy?" But it's not human. This is a digital ELF voice. And it stops there, and if you listen, this last bit right here is not a female voice, it's a male voice going brr, or a tone that sounds more like a male voice. Listen. This is the only part that sounds female-ish. And it's clearly technology and not a woman talking. God damn it. Now let's listen to this version. Here is the ELF. The ELF is following, extremely low frequency, is following that voice. So that's coming out of the woman's throat too? What is up with you people? So, it is not a female voice. It has nothing to do with a female voice. It is a generated voice that sounds female-ish. Okay, here's another kicker that just totally changes the game of this. And everybody from fucking Reddit and these types of websites should see this, should let it soak in before you open your fat mouths anymore. And I'm sorry, but seriously, some of your analysis is absolutely mind-blowing to me. Here's the original chunk of the male voice. Let's check it out. I'll loop it for a second. Now, people think it says, oh, lay down, or some bullshit, or whatever, like go back to sleep. Well, it doesn't, and if we get into that audio and tweak the frequencies, we can find out what's really there. Now, there's an ELF pulse here that turns into something else later. Let's check it out. That was tweaked and then pitched up. Okay, what did you hear there? It says, I think you have cancer. Let's loop it. We're going to move on to different stages. Now let's move on to stage 2, and let's check the same spot. It's right here. It sounds like, it says, I think you have, and then cancer is slower and pulsed. Have cancer. Now, let's play this version. Now let's play the next version. Think you have cancer. Now let's go to the next version. Audio experts. Right there. Think you have cancer. Now let's go to the next version. There's a finale to this. Now let's go to the final version. Think you have cancer. Now, what does the beginning, the ELF rumble, say on the final version? What does the ELF rumble say? It says you're dying. You're dying. It reinforces negativity and scares the shit out of people in their dreams. You can change people's dreams with this. Have you ever fallen asleep with the TV on and then you had your dreams directed by the television? One time I fell asleep with some lame-ass television channel on, and I was having dreams about jet planes, and I woke up and fucking Top Gun was on. Now imagine what you can do with this. You're dying. I think you're dying. I think you have cancer. Now let's go back to the original one here. So it says, you're dying, I think you have cancer. Now, I want to show you what's in ELF and low frequency, other low frequency waves. So let's listen to the whole clip, just the low frequencies. Now, let's listen to that whole clip, tweaked out, so you can kind of hear what's going on. Now remember, there's no voices there in the clicks, in the pops, in the rustling. There are no voices there. But suddenly, there are. So those are just the low-end frequencies in that clip, pitched up. Listen, if you're going to claim to be an expert in something to help somebody out, you better be a fucking expert in what you're doing and understand what you're doing. And these people clearly do not. Lady, if you're watching this, you have electromagnetic frequencies coming into your room that are affecting both you and your child. So when you hear these types of clicks and pops in a recording, they're not just clicks and pops. This is similar to the Fry effect. And what is going on is something completely different and over the heads of most capabilities unless you are schooled in what's going on. This is why some of you can hit record on any type of recorder and see the levels almost peak out, but yet you don't hear anything in the recording because this is ultrasonic and infrasonic sound. So Reddit, that whole Reddit op where they had people believing that someone broke into her house and scaring the shit out of her, I think she even moved, is total and complete bullshit. Some of you out there can enable cognitive dissonance all you want, but your kids are affected by this. And at some point, somebody you know is going to be majorly affected by this. And I'm telling you, it's hard at work right now. Look out for Charlie.